This is Lieutenant Sulu of the Starship Enterprise, standing by on the bridge with the Christmas song. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you guys listened to any of the episodes?
I did, like, the first two. I think you sent me MP3s of it, and I'm like, oh my god.
We sound so
Like,
bitter.
We're getting into the territory now where, like I told you guys, I was getting the fucking episodes mixed up. Like, oh, this is the one where they fucked up by not asking the population, and that wasn't the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, who cares?
What episode are we on?
6. The one with Badgie.
Who?
Badgie? The paperclip
God.
thingamajiggy?
Yeah.
In the
Like,
holodeck?
No, the first one with Badgie.
Yeah, the first one with Badgie. Yes.
Oh no! That's Badgie in it. Oh.
Yeah, I forgot.
I haven't watched number 10 yet. I was saying to Boris, I'm tempted to not even watch it and just be in the podcast going, I don't know, I didn't even see it.
It feels like I tapped out.
Yeah.
That was it. Mandalorian was on.
Anyways. That's right.
See, I technically can't get in trouble for that because it's not a swear. Just the context it's used.
Ugh. Beer right after coffee? Not suggested.
That's what I was thinking, dude. Like, let me grab a coffee and a beer, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a fucked up mess. I'm glad.
Oh, I've
it's
been
you
there.
alone.
You gotta pair it right. You gotta get like that the Wellington chocolate ale. Oh, that's real good with that.
Yeah.
This is horrible. By the way, I'm recording, so.
Oh, cool.
So yeah. What are we doing? Episode what? 6, we said?
Thanks, Badgie.
Yeah,
Badgie. Terminal provocations.
Yep. So we're about 4 minutes in, so we killed 4 minutes. Assuming I don't
All
edit
right.
this at all.
Oh, we need to.
Hey, welcome to the 6th day of Christmas, where our torture continues because truly the world is full of nothing but anger, rage, and disappointment. And who are we if not servants to that level of destruction?
Pretty much.
We're on episode 6, season 1 of Below Decks. It's titled Terminal Provocations. I don't remember which one's the director, but there we go. Directed by Bob Suarez and written by John Cochran. First air date was September 10th, September 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
Compelling stuff. I'm surprised you didn't memorize that.
Well, I had a decent... I had the notes, and then I was like, oh no, I can't remember which name is which.
Yeah.
Because I did not put that.
This episode.
Any initial thoughts, or just want to jump into it?
No. We'll do initial thoughts. Gotta kill time. Gotta make at least 10 minutes.
No, look, I know, but we're doing the shtick of like, well, is there any initial thoughts, or just want to jump into it? And it's like, well, I have an initial thought, because that's part of what adds to the time. And now this explaining also adds to the time. It's all part of my master plan.
You know what else adds to time? The fact that I'm now having a beer right after a coffee. You know, the palate in my mouth right now is just going all over the place. I'm not sure whether I like it or not.
Does it have good mouthfeel, though?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Bill,
Gander considered
how are you doing?
mouthfeel.
I'm hanging in there, Boimler.
Considering it's
I'm
Saturday.
hanging in.
Today's Saturday.
You know what? Oh, is it Saturday?
Yeah, today's
Yeah,
Saturday.
it's Saturday.
I will say about this episode that it's the road to the series getting a little more tolerable.
Yeah.
To be on the TV for me.
Yep.
I don't immediately want to go and hurt myself or do any.
This I kind of agree with you, but I don't know whether I hate this episode or this was a turning point for me. I'm still undecided.
That's fair.
Hey,
I would argue.
Before we go there, wow, how about that Mandalorian episode last night, eh? Eh?
God.
It is Saturday.
Yeah. Well, yesterday, yeah. Oh my God.
Look, you gotta be careful,
Can't
guys.
believe
I got work on Friday, so I'm not always able to watch it first thing.
Oh.
Well,
we
that's
don't
why
want to spoil it.
We don't
for
put
anybody.
anything on
we
the
don't,
chat.
We can't spoil it for anybody, so we better be quiet about it.
No, it's regularly. Let's go with a problem I have is that I wake up and I'm like, am I gonna get Mandalorian in before work or not? Doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I try to avoid our chat. I usually message Phil directly until I know that you've seen it. Anyways, so what were we talking about?
Episode 6, Season 1 of Lower Decks.
Yeah. Okay. So, initial thoughts. Yeah, I'm not sure if this was a turning point of the season for me. You know, spoiler alert. Or if this was the episode I hated the most. I'm not sure. There was a lot of things about this episode I didn't like, but this is when the show became tolerable in the sense that it just became so stupid, and so not Star Trek that it was just there. It was a thing.
You let go.
Interesting. So you say that you stopped struggling, and you just let yourself drown in it.
Yeah, pretty much. All
right.
Yep, I let it
This
in my...
is interesting because, like, just so the audience knows, we don't talk about this. Just like we were talking about The Mandalorian. We specifically avoid these discussions, and I find that it's interesting that that parallels my experience so far too. Is that the second half of the season, I just don't care. I don't know if anything's gotten better, story-wise or character-wise. I just know that I don't really dwell on maybe what we dwelled on our first 5 reviews.
Yeah.
So
maybe it just beat us into, accepting it. It's so dumb, it's so bad that it's like, here, take me.
Take me or leave me. I actually have a slightly different take than two of you, which is that this is, for me, to spoiler a little bit, this is the bottom of the like, it's like an inverse bell curve or a parabola. This is the bottom point.
Yeah. And that's what I mean.
And then
I'm not sure whether this is that for me or this is the actual turning point.
I think it's the next one. I think just the juxtaposition of slight spoiler. I think the second one is legitimately so much better.
Yeah.
That it screws everything up. Like it's the juxtaposition between episode 7 and the rest of the season is so weird.
Yeah. You're right.
Well, I understand why our guests last week on the Mandalorian episode, Lisa and Brad, I understand why they might have felt a little more positive about the show, witnessing the second half a little bit more now. So maybe it just leaves you with, well, you guys have finished, but I still have one episode to go. Maybe it just leaves you with a nice, refreshing taste in your mouth.
Like beer after coffee.
Beer after coffee taste, yeah.
Is that the name of this episode? That beer after coffee taste?
Pretty much. All right. Who's going to walk us through? Tyler, you started.
Cerritos is in a standoff with the Drukmani over salvaging an old Starfleet ship. Depending on who we believe the Drukmani, it is like real old, and Starfleet is like, no, totally, we were coming back for it.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to take a complete left turn for a moment to nerd out about my previous career. I used to do fisheries and sea law, and Drukmani are in the right here. If it's been left alone for too long, salvage laws apply, and it's finders keepers.
Squatting rules. I like it.
No, squatting is slightly different.
Yeah.
Squatting is less good than salvage.
Yeah.
Because squatting, you don't.
As aliens.
Yes. Yep. But anyways,
Cool.
yeah.
I'm sure there's like little augments on it, like if there's live people on it that are in suspended animation.
Different story.
They
That's not
have to be.
salvage.
Yeah, then it's not. Then it reclassifies. Okay, gotcha.
I have actually I helped write an article on space law before, so like I know this stuff.
Nice.
Frickin' space law. That's why The Martian is my favorite movie, because of that little aside he has about space law. And I'm like, yes, all of that's correct.
That is a great movie. I saw that at TIFF,
Um,
actually.
Yeah.
Space law in Space Force now.
I mean, I can go into that. Let's finish this first. That's another episode where I give a lecture on space law and America's weird relationship to treaties.
We need another vamp, so we can save that for the next episode.
Yeah. Anyways, we get a new character, Ensign Fletcher, a friend to Mariner and Boimler. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm super cool. I'll do some work for you so you can go to a concert." They return from the concert, and he looks like he's been attacked. And the shield core is missing. So if the Cerritos finds itself in a fight, not good. No bueno. Meanwhile, Rutherford shows off to Tendi his new anthropomorphic Starfleet badge named Badgie, who is like supposed to train new people in Starfleet stuff, and it's to train in it's 0G, right? She's not good at being in EV. They call it something else, but it's EVAs, isn't it?
Yep, it's their space
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah, it's been EVA,
Yeah.
extravehicular.
Space
Meanwhile, the Drukmani begin to attack the Cerritos, now without shields, causing the holodeck to malfunction, as is Star Trek tradition. The safety protocols go offline. Badgie becomes homicidal and attacks Rutherford and Tendi. Boimler and Mariner investigate Fletcher's attack.
Can I stop you for 1 second?
Yeah, of course.
Because I do want to throw in the parallel of Badgie with Clippy. So that was like
Okay.
the little thing for anyone who hasn't watched it. All millions of you, billions of you.
Yeah. It the old Microsoft Word used to have a little paperclip named Clippy, who would pop up and say, "Hi, do you want to format me?
You
Or do
look
want
like
help
you're
with this.
you look like you're trying to commit suicide. Can I help?"
Yeah.
Do you know what a paragraph is? That's a run-on sentence. Use a period.
You look like you don't understand paragraph styles.
Yeah, so that's Badgie. He's just like, and who's the actor who voiced him? Because it sounds an awful lot like the guy from 30 Rock.
Oh, Kenneth?
Yeah,
I don't know. It
sounded-
might be him.
it sounded like him at times. Like it wasn't fully him, so I was questioning it, but it was just that voice, his pitch would hit it, and I was just like, oh, that'd be kind of funny if it was him.
Jack McBriar.
Yep, it is him.
You're from 30
good.
Rock, yeah.
That's a
Well
win.
done.
Phil wins a beer with coffee.
Or a paperclip. It's hard to choose. But yeah, okay, so yeah, that kind of sets the tone for anyone who hasn't gone off and spoiled themselves by our ever glamorous reviews that we've been posting here in the lead up to Christmas. Like, holy crap, I gotta go watch me some Lower Deck.
Makes
Yeah,
me
I don't
want
know how you
Upper
wouldn't.
Deck.
Bwah, bwah.
Well, here's the thing. Upper Deck, Lower Deck. It belongs in the Lower Deck. That's why.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry, Tyler.
Good job, Phil. You teach us much.
Do you know what an upper deck is?
I do.
Okay.
I am
Oh,
aware
wow.
of that particular.
Hopefully our audience
incident.
is too. You can reply to us on our socials.
Nah,
Let
just go
us
to
know what you think an upper deck is.
just go to Urban Dictionary.
Oh, fair enough.
You have to learn eventually. We
How
all
long
do.
How long until we tell our audience to Google?
Well, we just did.
Anyways, I'm not gonna say
Urban
it.
Dictionary. Go check it. Upper deck. Oh no, we're not going anywhere else, please. Boris can't even speak right now.
Where were we?
We're at 16
Well, the
minutes,
audience.
guys.
No,
The
I'm in
audience
the
is
episode.
somewhere else right now, but we're
Yeah, the Drukmani attack the Cerritos, but it doesn't have shields. Already did that. Boimler and Mariner investigate Fletcher's attack, discovering the shield core and learning that Fletcher lied and was unable to complete the work. So instead, he tried a dangerous procedure where he would plug the brain into the core to make himself smarter. And then it instead brings the core to life, and it begins to assimilate everything.
all right. This is getting worse here. that I had this really difficult time at this point in the show. That guy changed so much. It was like they rewrote him while they were filming. But I get it. It was kind of planned.
Yeah.
That he was going to be super nice guy, and then he becomes super idiot.
Well, yeah, because it's your typical.
And he became so abusive too after his brain got plugged into that.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'm freaking out and short.
There's a lot of like sitcom tropes here, right? Like, every sitcom has that episode where the main character hangs out with a character or a friend from college
That we've never seen before.
Yeah, and that person's like the most annoying person, or is pissed off at the main character because they've changed so much, or whatever.
Or they bring home drugs.
Yeah,
it's just which very special episode we want to do this week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, that's a lot of awkward silence.
That's about my feeling for this show. Not this show, that show, Lower Deck.
The missing core goes on a rampage that honestly lasts way too long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The crew were able to blow out the airlock. The core drifts the Drukmani ship and destroys it. Meanwhile, Rutherford defeats Badgie by changing the holodeck program to a mountaintop to freeze him out and kill him, and then resets him back to normal. Fletcher is rewarded for his part in stopping the Drukmani and is transferred to the USS Titan, where he is thereafter discharged for dumping garbage into the warp core.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
That's what happens.
Yep.
Did you learn not to throw stuff out of the, throw warp core bits out of the thing? Like, what was the lesson learned here? Spacewalk.
I think the lesson is supposed to be that
don't hang out with your high school friends.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't trust people to be competent. Love is a lie. Everyone dies alone.
And what was your alternate title for this episode, Tyler?
My alternate title for this episode was Rock Bottom.
Aptly so.
Or the alternate title. This is like a 50s drive-in movie.
Yeah.
Not Star Trek.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, this episode, I think for me it hit rock bottom. And I know, like, we complained because this show shits on a lot of, like, what makes Star Trek Star Trek. But this episode had nothing to do with Star Trek. It was like, it's a completely own world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and, like, the technology doesn't behave the same way.
Yeah.
No, but, the only thing that maybe had anything to do with Star Trek was, number one, they were on a ship in space. And two, they had a holodeck that behaved unlike any other holodeck in Star Trek.
Well, I didn't say unlike any other.
Have you watched half of The Next Generation?
I don't know how you can get in there and all the safety protocols. Well, yeah.
Right, again, that's like half the episodes.
Yeah.
With the holodeck.
Yeah.
Which was half the Next Generation.
I ate my own words right in mid-sentence because I'm like, oh, crap.
In the Ridge series, what they would do is they'd be like, oh no, it's we found a new planet. Oh, this is the planet of the half white, half black people. And to get away from that trope, in TNG, they instead had the holodeck, and then it was also an excuse to get everyone to dress up in different costumes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So much so that they made fun of it on the intro to Generations, and that's how you're introduced to the Next Generation crew in the holodeck.
Yeah.
they're on the ship.
remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that now.
Yeah. I used to really be into Star Trek, and now I'm feeling like I'm really not.
Well, you know what
But
it is. Like, let's
I've
be
forgotten a
honest.
lot
Like,
of it.
since The Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, there hasn't really been a Star Trek show, because after that you had Enterprise in 2000 or whatever that was, and then basically from 2000 until J.J. Abrams, there was nothing. And then after J.J. Abrams, there was nothing until Discovery, really. So
Well, and J.J. Abrams, like, J.J. Abrams all over it.
yeah, he did.
And to quote a friend of mine, the last Star Trek movie is a halfway decent Mass Effect movie.
Oh my gosh.
Not Andromeda.
That last Star Trek movie, I'm sorry. It
Look, we got Idris Elba. Like, okay.
He was in it?
and then we find out that we're talking about the wrong movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because the one that time
Yeah, we were talking about different movies.
was like there was the second one. That was the other JJ one.
Into the
But
Dark?
this one that I'm talking about is the one that had the Beastie Boys stuff in it.
Oh,
that
that's
was
the
the
first
third
one.
one by Simon. No, the third one.
No.
Simon Pegg did it.
Oh, yeah, the third one. That's the one I haven't seen.
Yeah. That's
Anyways.
the one where the Beastie Boys saved the world. or the universe.
Yeah. So that's the... Yeah, so after J.J. Abrams, yeah, there wasn't anything until Discovery. So, you know, there was a huge gap. So because there was nothing, it's easy to forget about Star Trek.
I also think that as much as Star Trek is, like, as a whole, really solid, there are some clunker and stinker episodes in there.
Oh, dude, yeah. 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 Like, I remember, I'm thinking, even as a kid, to be... And I was waiting for this comment for a later episode because of the whole holodeck stuff. But half of those holodeck episodes were absolutely atrocious.
They were,
Yeah, I mean,
but even the Queen has to shit, right? Like, it happens.
Yeah. Everyone has a Last Jedi, right?
Yeah.
yeah, everyone does have a great attempt at reinventing and reinvigorating a genre, only to be shat on by lesser minds.
And there goes about 30% of our listeners.
R.I.P. Firefly. There's another 10.
Fuck Firefly. Worst fucking shit ever.
I don't go that far, but I definitely think that, you know, it...
If you put a
18 years
gun
old.
to my
What do you
head,
guys expect?
if you put a gun to my head and said, Boris, you have to watch Star Trek Lower Decks or Firefly, boom. That's it.
Wow!
Holy crap, I take Firefly in a heartbeat. Just even the talent on set. Just to even have real actors instead of these rewritten shreds. But hey, that's just me.
A theory. A game theory.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. Oh, this
Yeah.
episode is so bad.
We're
What,
leaning into
our
it,
episode
folks.
or Lower Decks episode?
I think this is compelling listening. I know I'm going to listen to this one back. Just to hear the edit.
What
I
edit?
think we did it.
You think
I think
I'm
we
gonna
did it.
edit? Yeah, that's it. So, crazy bad homicidal badgie, garbage wars, people get fired. That sums up the episode.
Yeah.
Bill, are you okay there, buddy?
We're not even drinking.
I am.
Like this
I mean,
is
I'm
the
coked
episode
up on
I figured-
painkillers.
I figured this was the episode where we'd all be like blitzed or something, you know. And it turns out we're showing up mostly sober.
I mean, I took a handful of painkillers because I jammed my finger on the way in. So
Oh, the finger?
sober has, yeah, the finger.
Ooh.
I was driving into the parkade, and I had to go grab my fob, and like the brain forgot, and I just jammed it at full speed. Oh,
Not cool.
so yeah, got upstairs, and I was like Skittles,
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
just-
painkillers in the
so
mouth.
Our
All right,
listeners
so
are aware Tyler has
excessive-
injured his finger.
Excessive drug taking, murder, being shot in the head, drinking. What else can we jam into this wonderful family episode?
Well, we got the upper deck comment too.
That's true. We do have poop jokes.
We do have poop covered in this episode, so
So I think we covered it all.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the spectrum. When you get to brown, that's it.
All right, so I think that's it. Phil, do your thing. Actually, don't tell
All
people where
right.
they can get a hold of us. We don't want them to get a hold of us today.
You can find us at joerogan.com.
Oh God, don't send them there. They'll end up. Oh my God.
No,
Have
send
you seen
your
the-
angry email to joe at joerogan.com.
Have you seen the new Joe Rogan ads where they're like
Yeah.
one of the greatest minds, and it's like some infinities are bigger than other infinities? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, anyone who's done grade 12 pre-calc knows this.
Yep.
This is not like an out there thought, Joe. You're not really smart for figuring this out. I swear to fucking God.
Yep.
Well, you read a book. That's an improvement.
Yep.
All right. So if you're looking for us and our unique brand of humor, especially, maybe not in this episode, but normally we're on beat, you can find us at www.itscanonpodcast.com. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at It's Canon Podcast. You can email us at show@itscanonpodcast.com. And you can subscribe via Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Podbean, Amazon, iHeartRadio. We're even there. Anywhere that you find podcasts, you're going to find us. And yeah, be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you get alerted to when we drop these zany episodes. And if you wouldn't mind, we'd love a rate and review. And thanks so much for taking the time to listen and to listen to something a little bit different in this holiday season and this messed up year that is 2020.
Thanks, Phil. I know that this show's been a struggle. So, number one, thank you guys for keeping up with me and actually doing these. And number two, I know that this isn't your typical review. We're trying something different. We're just having fun with this. We might as well have fun with something. Having said that, less than a week before Christmas, hopefully you start wrapping your presents, making your cookies, doing what you do. He's Phil. He's Tyler. I'm Boris. Good night.